Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to make some awesome spare ribs and homemade chips. You are going to need about 2.5 to 3 hours for this one, but I can guarantee you, you will not disappoint your guests. Now for this recipe, you're going to need some American pork ribs. You're going to need some potatoes. Now for the sauce or the basting, you're going to need some tomato sauce, mustard, Lancashire, one of those Shire words again, relish, salt, pepper, some vinegar. We're going to use butter. I'll show you, we'll explain what the butter is for. And then we're going to be using the Sweet and Smoky seasoning for today. For the equipment, you're going to need a meat bucket or a casserole that can go onto the fire, a saucepan, a deep pan for your potatoes or the chips that we're going to make, and then lastly you're going to need a braai basket to clamp the ribs, because once we've cooked the ribs, they're going to be, or slow cooked the ribs, they're going to be really soft, so we need the basket to clamp it down so that it doesn't fall apart. And then we also need some heavy duty tin foil. Now you can use normal foil as well, just wrap it twice. Great, so let's get cooking. Right, while we wait for the fire outside, I'm quickly going to prep the ribs. So for this, you need about 2 teaspoons of butter to place the ribs on. So maybe a little bit more, but you can't put too much. Oops, butter is a bit warm. Right, so as you can see, for the foil, we've got the shiny side facing up. This helps with heat radiation inside, so once we wrap it up, the foil also helps to retain some of the moisture. So that's why this is a vital part of this process. Don't just put the ribs in your meat bucket with a little bit of water, it's not going to have the same effect. Right, another thing is, you're not going to cut the membrane, because it's going to be very soft once it's cooked. It will just fall apart if you try to cut that. So now placing the ribs on top of the butter, and then for that I'm going to add some of this. You can, if you don't have any sort of preferred seasoning you want to put up, just put salt and pepper. So I'm just going to add some of our Sweet and Smoky seasoning on, not too much, because this is going to go into the sauce as well. But you just need something to give it a little bit of flavor, and it's also going to create a broth. So while it is inside of the meat bucket, cooking for 2.5 hours, some of the juices will escape and go into the water. At the end of that, you sit with a nice butter, meaty, juicy broth that we're going to add to the sauce as well. So right, so that's it. So then you close the sides. Very straightforward, just fold it. Don't try to press too hard and break the foil, and that's what you end up with. As I mentioned, if you use a normal foil and you don't have a heavy duty foil, just wrap it twice. So then we're going to place that in the meat bucket with, I forgot to mention that I've already got my 1/2 cup of water inside the meat bucket. Right, now let's do the other bit. I like to do them separate. You can put both in the same foil, but I like to keep it separate. Right. So let's add that, and then add some of this, spice. Don't have to put a lot on. And then we just give it a fold. Now this is a key step for making it perfect, is there we've got both pieces in. If you've got bigger ribs, you can put them on top of each other. What I suggest is after 1.5 hours, just swap them around. It does make a difference because some of the heat is at the bottom. What we found was that this was a good way to cook or to slow cook any sort of tough meat or some of the bigger cuts. And you can even do this same method with a big brisket. I've done a big brisket exactly the same way, although I've left it in for probably 4 to 4.5 hours in this method, and it came out perfect. Once this is on the fire, you don't want to boil the water. You really just want to see, once the lid is on, you just want to see a little bit of steam coming out of the lid. When you lift it up, you don't want to see the water boiling or making bubbles. It's really trying to get that internal temperature, or the temperature of inside the meat bucket, to about 85 degrees. So don't boil the water. That's going to overcook it. It's not going to have the same effect. Sometimes you feel it's pointless because the water's not boiling. It's not going to cook. But trust me, it's almost like sous vide type thing, but it will make those ribs soft and tender and very juicy. So great. So now that the ribs are prepped, I'll move on to making the chips. So I've got 4 medium-sized potatoes already peeled. So I'm just going to cut them into chunks. I'm not going to make fries. So the key with the chips that we're going to make today is we're going to make it slightly different to how you would normally make the chips, or maybe you are doing it already. So we're first going to boil them, first cook them to about 90% done. So soft, but not too soft so that they fall apart. Then we're going to put them in a container, or in a container in the fridge or freezer. They have to cool down to be very cold, not frozen, but they have to be really cold. And then once the oil is nice and hot, I would say medium to hot, it will help to cook it to a nice golden crunchy chip. Right, so this is, we're going to do the basting quickly. I'm not going to call it a barbecue sauce. It's a rib basting. So for that, you're going to need some tomato sauce. Now, probably with the tomato sauce, you can put like 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, 2 to 3 tablespoons of mustard, then another 2 to 3 Lancashire relish in. This is amazing. I basically have this on anything. So, yeah, so 3, a little bit of extra. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar to this mix. About 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Salt and pepper, you can decide to taste. And then lastly, we're gonna put also about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the sweet and smoky seasoning. And there we have it. The sauce is finished. The rest we're all gonna do outside. So let's go outside and braai. Perfect. It's been just over 2 hours. I'm pretty sure the ribs are almost done. While we cook the sauce, I'm just gonna let that go for another half an hour just to make sure, but it's looking good. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of this awesome broth of butter and meat juices to the sauce. There's some real good flavor in there. Oh, you wish you can smell this. Okay, so now we just need to let that reduce a little bit more. Look at that. It's soft, but it doesn't fall apart yet. And that's what we want. This one might be a little bit soft. Let's try and not to. Oh, yep. Okay. Well, that's okay. all the cooking's done. It's actually looking amazing. So all that's left to do is to dish up a bit and have a test. So let's get cracking. Today I'm just going to use a chopping board as my plate because I think it looks nice. And yeah, the chips came out really nice. They're really crispy, they're soft. I think it's just going to be amazing. Right, now for this one I'll use the one that broke into 2 pieces. And I've kept a bit of the sauce to put over it. And also to go over my chips. Don't have to do this, I like it. And there you have it. Let's give it a go. Right, so as you can see, it's just falling off the bone. Probably gonna have to switch off the mic again. It is so good. Let's try the chips. This chips came out really nice. Oh wow. More of that sauce. Yeah, so guys, sorry. This recipe, it does take quite a few hours to make, but it's well worth it. Gives you something to do while you have your mates over. So yeah, give it a try. Let us know what you think. Please comment if you make this. And another thing I just want to mention, because we use coals or solid fuels, you have to gauge your temperatures, or each cook is going to be different. For me, it's 2.5 hours. It might take 3.5 for you, or so on. But yeah, if you like our content, please subscribe to our channels. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.